5 steps to apply and receive DSAs. Step 1. Download and fill in the application form.
The simplest way a student can actually apply for the disabled student allowances is at the same time that they would apply for their main finance application for their support for the tuition fees and the maintenance loan.
It's really simple. They literally go onto direct.gov website and key in student finance, which would bring them to this page here. They could choose whether to apply as a full-time student or a part-time student. It'll take them into the application. It will give them an option to tick they want to apply for disabled student allowance, which is literally just a little radio button they would tick.
We will send them an application form, and all they need to do is send it back to us and sign it and send along the relevant disability evidence with it as well.
Medical evidence would just be confirmation from your GP that there was a medical condition.
Or they can submit a diagnostic report, which has been done by a psychologist, for example, where a student has got dyslexia.
Good afternoon, response team, Kevin speaking. How can I help?
If students have any issues at all, we would encourage them to contact us here so we can help them along with the process and reassure them on what they need to do and the next steps they need to take throughout the process, just to make sure that they get their support in place as quickly as possible.
Step 2 would be receiving a letter from ourselves saying we've accepted your application and to contact a needs assessor. Step 3 would be going to see your needs assessor to have your needs report done so we know what sort of things can be put in place for your application.
The needs assessment is not any kind of test. It's a chance for the student to talk about their disability and any impact that has on their studies.
What we're going to talk about today is...
The purpose of a DSA needs assessment is to identify how the student has developed strategies over the course of their education and to try and identify either human support or hardware or software to help them study at degree or higher education level.
I must emphasise today we're not going to have any testing, so there's no diagnostic testing like you've done previously. It's an informal chat.
The actual needs assessment is about an hour and a half, 2 hour, going through things like what strategies they do to understand information and how they go about proofreading their work and understanding what's said during lectures. Each assessment is for the individual student's needs. We try and make the assessment as welcoming and informal and pleasant as possible.
The gentleman that did the assessment, he was really welcoming and he made me feel really relaxed.
It was mainly someone observing you and just seeing how you do things and how they can help. So it's not like a typical test where it's strenuous and you're under pressure. It was more just someone really sort of qualifying how they can help you.
What would you consider your main difficulties with studying are?
I really explained what my particular needs are, what would make my study effective throughout my term and throughout my university life, really.
Students can take breaks at any time during the needs assessment for any medical reasons or energy levels. If they want to cut the assessment short, we can either finish it off over the phone or invite them back to cover the outstanding areas of the report template.
We have thousands of students each year that are actually eligible for the disabled student allowances and they don't end up going through the needs assessment process. So that's the main thing that a student needs to take on board, is that they need to do that as soon as they possibly can. And there is full instructions on the letter that we send them on how they go about doing that.
Step 4, you would receive your entitlement notification telling you what support is going to be put in place. Step 5, we would tell you to order your equipment and arrange your support.
After their assessment, the student receives confirmation of the funding. We try and keep the process as simple as possible for students. All that needs to happen is the proof of entitlement gets sent into a supplier, the goods are checked, and then a delivery date is arranged. On delivery of the equipment, an engineer will set up all of the ergonomics and all of the assistive hardware and software supplied, and they'll work with the student through basic familiarisation and tailor ongoing training around their specific course and their needs.
From the students submitting an application for them to get their support in place can actually take 14 weeks on average. It's very important that they look to apply as soon as they possibly can so we can get the ball rolling with the application process and then make sure that they have their support in place for when they actually arrive at university.